This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, December 23rd, 2025. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Mexican Navy aircraft crashes in Galveston. 2 survivors rescued by Good Samaritans. Investigation into Brown University continues. Beginning with international events. In the Caribbean, yesterday the Pentagon announced the shelling of another narco submarine, which was sunk in the eastern Pacific Ocean. 1 individual was reported killed during the strike, though a full battle damage assessment has not been provided due to the nature of the submersible craft, making it hard to count how many people were really on board. On the home front, in Texas, last night a Mexican Navy aircraft transporting medical patients crashed in the waters off the coast of Galveston while attempting to land. The flight was carrying medical patients who were to undergo surgery at the Shriners Children's Hospital in Galveston. So far, of the 8 people on board the aircraft, 5 fatalities have been confirmed, with 2 survivors and 1 individual remaining missing. Analysts comment. The accident appears to be the result of poor visibility at the time of the crash, and the fact that anyone survived at all is a sheer miracle. 1 woman was rescued from the wreckage by a Good Samaritan who responded to the crash site, jumped in the water, and pulled her from the airframe. Other volunteers also helped recover everyone they could from the debris before it sank. The status of the survivors is not clear, however, all were in extremely serious condition when they were rescued from the aircraft. In Pennsylvania, this afternoon, an explosion was reported at the Silver Lake Nursing Home in Bristol. A mass casualty situation was declared as a significant blast destroyed part of the structure. Analysts comment. At the time of this report, this is a developing situation and the casualty count is not yet known. The cause of the blast is also not confirmed, however, initial assessments suspect this may have been the result of a natural gas leak. Analyst comments for this wire. As the investigation into the Brown University shooting has continued, more information has come to light that clarifies some details of the incident. The chief of the Brown University campus police department has been placed on leave, as testimony indicates the shooter was observed acting suspiciously within the Barris and Holly building in the weeks leading up to the mass shooting. Derek Lisi, the custodian who works within the engineering building complex, stated that he reported the shooter to security over a dozen times for acting suspiciously. His tips were ignored and no investigation was launched. Regarding the lack of security camera footage, some useful information has actually arisen from a journalist during a press conference. The press conferences involving Chief Perez, Attorney General Nerona, and others have become regularly disastrous to the point that even journalists are becoming hostile toward how poorly this is being handled. During one press conference, a journalist started asking a question which rapidly became more of a tirade, which accused the officials of something very specific. The journalist stated that the reason for certain cameras not functioning is because they were actually taken down completely at the request of a few dozen different activist groups, who wrote letters to Brown University demanding the school protect illegal immigrant students. So far, this has not been confirmed, as it's very unlikely for Brown University to incriminate themselves now. The press conferences have definitely become a plead the fifth kind of arrangement at this point. However, if this is true, this would line up with the initial suspicions expressed during the early moments after the shooting. Removing security cameras for social justice reasons has always been a main theory from the very start, and now it's looking like the mainstream media is catching on to this possibility as well. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, December 23rd, 2025.